Okay, I think we are all trickling in. Hello, everyone. Sorry, my little doggy Madison is distracting me. Hi, everyone. So my name is Sara Ivanhoe, and I'm the yoga director here at USC. And we've been doing this series, Yoga at Home, Wednesdays at 4:30, just to give ourselves a little like hump day midweek pause of sanity amidst all the craziness going on in the world. So this is always just meant to be a very user friendly, easy, imperfect way to practice, just a way to find ourselves a little breathing room and a little space. So let's get started as we usually do, just with our legs crossed comfortably, however that feels good to you. Allow your eyes to close and a few deep breaths. And over the last several weeks, we've been learning the Ujjayi breathing. So, Ujjayi breathing, you're through the nose only. So, you're breathing in and out through your nose. But instead of making a sniffing sound, you're making a hollow sound with the throat. So, the sound of the breath, instead of sounding like this, should sound more like this. So, just for a moment or two, with your eyes closed, don't think about it too much. Just try to match the sound of your breath with the sound of my breath. Last one. Great. Okay, I'm going to allow your eyes to open and we'll come right onto our hands and knees. So go ahead and flip over onto hands and knees. And you just want to have your hands directly under your shoulders and the knees under the hips. Uh, Fingers are spread wide. And we'll just start as we usually do with a little bit of a cat-cow. So you're going to lift your chest up and your sit bones up on your inhale. And then exhale, go ahead and round your spine. You pull your belly in, drop your head down, pull your face into your belly button. And let's do that just a few times. Inhaling and exhaling. Keep going on your own. Inhale and exhale. Great, and then come to a neutral spine onto hands and knees. And we'll just pick up the right arm, left leg. We've been starting like this in a sunbird pose. So right arm, left leg, pick it up, and also pull your belly in for a little core strength here. It's nice to start like this with a little bit of balancing because it kind of gets us here and present. It's easy to kind of go through the motions and still be spacing out. So we do this practice. Go ahead and release it. Let's get side two. When we think about all of our schoolwork and stuff we have to do with our friends and our families and, laundries, and we start to think about all the things we need to do. And there's something about this balance work that really, if you start to drift off mentally, this really brings you back because then you start to fall. So the balance is a great way to kind of get us going here. And then release. Great. And now we're going to add a little breath and movement to that. So take up that right arm, left leg again. This is going to be your inhale position. We're just going to do 3 of these. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. So just cross, exhale and round like you did with the cat-cow. Inhale, expand. Exhale, right elbow, left knee. Inhaling. And then last one, exhaling. And then inhale, expand, and then release it down. Let's get that on the other side. Okay, so you're going to go left arm, right leg. This is the inhale position. And then exhale, cross and squeeze. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Great. Inhale, open, and then release. Let's go right into downward facing dog. You're going to curl your toes under, press your hips up and back for downward facing dog. So in down dog, I squeeze my arms straight, my outer edges of my arms kind of roll towards each other. And make sure you get nice length in the spine. I usually start with my knees pretty bent so my spine can be long. And then I usually start with pedaling my legs a little. So I'll push my right heel down. And I'll switch sides and push the left heel down and just kind of go from side to side like that. A couple times back and forth. Great, and then release the knees back down to the floor. Sit your hips back on your heels. And we're gonna take a shoulder stretch, which is a great thing. This is a great one when you're sitting over your desk, hunched over a lot. You'll take your right arm up, bend at your right elbow. Left hand is gonna reach around, grab the right elbow, bring it towards the midline, and then your head is gonna push that right elbow backwards. We're gonna let this cook for a little bit today. So just pull the belly in, pull the ribs in. Been getting some requests for some shoulder stretches with everybody hunched over their desks so much. Okay, and then release that right arm down. Left arm, reach it up, bend at the left elbow, and then right hand reach around, grab onto that left elbow, pull to the center line. I pull my belly in, I pull my ribs in, use my head to press the elbow back and open the shoulders. And just consider closing your eyes for a moment. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Great. Okay, and then release. And then just try this. Roll the shoulders up, back, and around a few times. And then forward and around a few times. Great. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit different with the shoulders this time. So take your left hand back behind you, reach it all the way back behind you like so. And then with your right hand, you're going to grab onto the left hand. You interlace your fingers like this, and you pull the hands forward, and you sort of squeeze the elbows together behind you. So from the back, it looks like this. From the side, it looks like I'm pulling my hands forward and then I squeeze my elbows. And the idea is this is opening up my chest, which most of the time, most of us are sort of hunched over like this, right? So I squeeze my elbows together behind me to open that chest up, really helping with the posture. Last deep breath here. Great. Release the hands. Oof. We're going to get that on the other side. Take your right arm back behind you. Grab onto it with the left hand and pull the hands forward, squeezing the elbows together behind you. So I'm trying not to arch my back too much. Got my belly pulled in, my ribs pulled in, and then I give my elbows a good squeeze. Close the eyes, close the mouth. Enjoy the stretch, but just trying to settle into yourself. Letting the day go. Great. And then release. And then from here, with your fingers interlaced, you're just going to a little bit lift your hands up, lift your chest up, and just a little back bend right here. Just to open the heart, open the lungs. Great. And then we're going to undo that by taking your right arm in front of your face. So left arm's going to wrap under and around until the palms touch. Arms are going to lift up away from your face. Drop your face right into the arms. And then close your eyes. And again, a few deep breaths. We're just starting today with these shoulder stretches. A lot of everyone, I guess it was midterms last week and the week before, just a lot of sitting at the desk. So let's just kind of clear some of this out and then we'll get moving and standing. And then open the eyes and release that. And then we'll get the other side. So your left arm is up and your right arm wraps under and around. Drop the head. Try to soften your jaw. And send a breath in between the shoulder blades. Okay, and then release it. Excellent. Go ahead and slide your hands forward. And we're going to once again come into the downward facing dog position. So we curl the toes under, press the hips up and back. And again, just a little bit of the pedaling of the legs. Here in down dog, give your head a little shake, no. So you're releasing and letting go of some of the tension that's in the back of the neck and the face muscles. And then let's try walking the hands back towards your feet now. So hands are walking back towards your feet. Feet are hip distance. And with each hand, you're just going to grab onto an elbow and let's just hang in a forward bend like this. So my knees are bent, my head is hanging. Give the head a shake. No, 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 no. And then try this. Give your head a nod. Yes, 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 yes. This is just loosening up the neck muscles. Walk your hands back to downward facing dog. Okay, excellent. I'm going to bring your feet together and take the right foot to the ceiling. Your hips are level. Flex your right foot. Pull your body backwards. So when you take a foot to the ceiling, you want to stay grounded in your standing leg. So my leg that's on the ground, my heels point, really pushing to the ground, my thighs pulling back, and my belly pulls me back. I'm going to sweep the right foot all the way up to the hands. I'm staying balanced on the back toes here. My left hand's going to stay to the floor, and then I take my right hand up to the ceiling in a nice big open twist. And we often warm up this way. It's just a nice, very sort of stable, like an unscary way to get ourselves up and moving. Release your right hand to the floor. Step back to downward facing dog. Let's get that on the other side. Feet are together. Left foot to the ceiling. Your hips level. Roll the thigh in and press down through the standing leg. Come back to your breathing. And then left foot all the way to your hands. Stay balanced on the toes. My back leg squeezes straight. Right hand is down. Take that left hand up into the ceiling. And breathe. And release the right hand to the floor. And you're just going to go plank pose all the way down to your belly. I'm just going to move Madison's little stick here. From here, interlace your fingers behind your back. We're going to move into a little back bend. Squeeze your legs together. Take your tailbone down. So we're kind of protecting our low back here. I'm going to squeeze the legs, spread the toes, lift the legs up, and then use the hands to pull the body up off the floor. It's a very small movement and it doesn't look impressive, but it's so strengthening for the back of the body and so good for your posture. Take a breath or two here. And then release, and then come up onto hands and knees and back to downward facing dog. Let's walk the hands back towards the feet again. Once again, bend the knees, and then this time interlace your fingers behind your back. Give the arms a squeeze to the ceiling and forward towards the floor in front of you. So good bend in the knees for safety. Just drop the head and breathe. Walking the hands all the way back down your legs. Walk the hands back towards the front of the mat in down dog. Bring your feet together. Take the right foot to the ceiling and let your hip open. You can wiggle the right toes, do some ankle circles with the right leg. Right foot's going to sweep all the way to the hands, left knee to the floor. Hips sink down. You want to just make sure the ankle is below the knee here. Come up onto your thigh, pull the belly and ribs in, take the arms up. And then for today, I'm going to have you keep your left arm reaching way up. Reach your right arm back behind you, and right arm slides back down that left leg. So we're just doing a little cross body. Great, and then release both hands to the floor. Step back to down dog, take the feet together, left foot to the ceiling. The left leg's an open. And then left foot all the way to the hands, right knee down. Again, just making sure you don't want the knee ever going past your ankle. That just compromises the knee joint. So that's why we're sort of concerned with that. That part is more important than what you do with your upper body. Always make sure your foundation is solid. When you're ready, you take your arms up. Keep your right arm up. And now slide down the back leg. Left hand to the right thigh. And then both hands reach them to the floor. Let's go plank pose all the way down to your belly, all the way down to the belly. This time take your arms out in front of you. Get a little bit of a back strengthener, and just for a few moments, lift up head, chest, arms, legs, everything up. Again, does not look impressive, much harder than it looks. Very healthy and good for the back body. And then release. Bring your hands under the shoulders and we'll push back to dog. So just a reminder, I've got a little bit of a wrist stuff. So sometimes I go onto my fists like this, but you can just go onto flat hands or whatever feels right for you. Back to down dog. And then let's walk the hands all the way back towards your feet. So we're going to bring the hands up onto the shins. Pull your heart forward. Inhale. So we're pulling the thighs back and the chest forward. That's the in-breath, shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, slide the hands down the legs, let your head drop. Let's do a few just like that. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Exhale. On your own, a couple times just like this. Great, and keep the feet heavy on the floor. Walk your hands back to down dog. Bring the feet together. Again, take the right foot to the ceiling. This time, feel free to let the hip open. You can bend the top leg. You push through the heel, however you like. And this time, you're going to take your right foot up to your hands. Stay balanced on the toes. Again, you can stay here like this is fine, or bring the hands onto the thigh, or come all the way up to crescent lunge pose. So maybe bend the back knee a little bit, pull the belly in, only if you're feeling stuff in the low back. Arms are going to stay nice and lifted. And then today, same thing you did with the knee on the floor. Keep your right arm up, your left arm up. Take your right hand across your body and slide it down the back leg just a little bit. Both arms are going to reach up. And then exhale, hands to the floor. We'll step right back to down dog. Bring your feet together, left foot to the ceiling. Left foot all the way to the hands. Balanced on the toes. You can stay here. You can bring the hands onto the thigh or take the arms all the way up. Again, I only bend the back leg if I'm feeling pressure in my low back. Otherwise, I keep my back leg nice and straight. Helps me with balance. Right arm's going to stay up, and then left hand reach back down the right leg. Okay, and both arms reach them up, and then hands to the floor. Good. Step back plank all the way to the floor. This time, let's do a little baby cobra. Uncurl the toes, tailbone down, up for little cobra, middle cobra, maybe a high cobra, and then back to down dog. Great. Walk your feet to the hands this time. So instead of the hands to the feet, this time feet go up to the hands. And then we'll come halfway up, inhaling. Exhale and fold deeply. And then arms out to the sides, come all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise. And exhale, palms to the heart. Take a moment, close your eyes, and get very still in mountain pose. Been squiggling around all day. Just get still for a moment. Okay, great. Allow your eyes to open. Great, you're going to go ahead and open the legs wide out to the side. Take the feet way wide out to the side, so your feet are going to be parallel. Turning the toes, pointing straight ahead. Hands come onto your hips. Inhale, you lift your chest, and then exhale, fold forward. So first thing we're going to do is take the hands shoulder distance, fingers and toes in line. Inhale, pull the chest forward, and then exhale, top of the head's going to reach towards the floor. You can just let your head drop. Doesn't matter if your head touches the floor or not. Slow down your breathing. Come halfway up, inhale. Exhale, hands to your hips, shoulders back. Lead with the chest all the way up to standing. Great. Now we're going to change the setting of the feet. So your heels will go in and your toes will go out. You're going to bend your knees squeeze out over the pinky toes. Do a little breath and movement. We're going to inhale to center and exhale, you'll twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. You're pushing your legs away from each other to get a hip opener. Inhaling. Exhaling. Just keep going on your own. Mostly the goal here is to move and breathe and to try to clear the tension from the day. So don't worry if you're doing it like perfectly with the legs or the hips. Not here to like get a huge workout, just here to move and breathe and clear the day. Great. And then come all the way to standing. And then we're going to take a triangle pose. So you'll turn your right toes out to the right. Your left toes are going to turn in. You want the front heel in line with the back arch. Just gently hinge at your hips. Slide that right hand below the knee as far as comfortable as it goes. I think today I'm going to go a little higher. The main thing is you don't want your low body to hunch forward, right? Low body is back shoulders are going to round back behind you. Kind of scoop your tailbone under. And when you're ready, you take your top arm straight up. So you can look straight ahead. You can look up. You can look down. Whatever feels right to you today. So from here, we're going to take Arda Chandrasana, half moon. Take your top hand to your hip. And you're going to bend your front knee and catch your balance between that right foot and the right hand. So see how my toe and my thumb are kind of in line here, far enough ahead so that I've got some space. I lean into it, catch my balance, and then take the left leg up, 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 up. Once it's up, I straighten the bottom leg. And take my top hand up and just a few breaths here. So I encourage you to look down. That's easier for balance. Kind of push your hands and feet away from each other. That'll help. And then we're going to do something a little different today. Keep your leg up, but you're going to take your left hand down to the floor and then roll the hip in and square your hips now. So you're going to push through the back heel. The square hips, pull your chest forward. So I don't know about you, but I feel this on the outside of my right thigh like crazy. Back heel pushes back, chest pulls forward, pull out through the top of the head. This is what we call level or neutral hips. So you're sort of something we're going to want to learn here. Pull, pull, pull. And then top foot meets the bottom foot. I'm going to take my feet hip distance, drop my head. I'm going to take my middle and index fingers onto my big toes, pull the heart forward, inhale, and exhale, top of the head towards the floor for Padangustasana. And just let your head drop and come back to your breathing here. I hear somebody typing. These Zoom calls are so funny. Okay, pull your heart forward. Exhale, put your hands on your hips, and then shoulders come back. Lead with the chest. Come all the way up to standing. Whew, okay, we're going to get that whole sequence on the other side. So open up, come back to facing front, and let's get this whole sequence on side too, okay? So we're going to turn your right toes in, left toes out. Arms are going to come out to the sides. Open up, hinge at your hips, and then you just want to kind of keep an eye on the middle and index toe pointing straight ahead. Great, and then slide the hand down as far as is comfortable to you. Top arm's going to reach up. So the main thing is you want to find something steady to look at. You don't want to be looking around all over the place. So just find a spot to look at, steady your gaze. When your eyes get steady, your mind gets a little bit more steady as well. We're moving into Arda Chandrasana now. So top hand, bring it to the hip, turn and look down. You're going to catch your balance between that foot and the bottom hand. I slide in. I'm going to take my right foot, flex it, take it up, 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 up. When it's gone as far as I can get it, then I straighten my bottom leg as much as is possible. You may not be able to do that, it's fine. And then top arm comes up. So flexing both feet, pushing the heels away from each other. Reach the hands away from each other. Couple breaths here. So this is what we call an open hip or an external rotation. My legs are moving away from each other. And now we're moving into the neutral position or the square hip position. My top hand is going to come down. I square my hip and I roll my thigh in. Flex the foot, I push my heel back and pull my chest and head forward. So I feel this like crazy on the outside of my standing leg. Chest forward, heart forward, head forward, back, heel, back. Okay, and then top foot meets the bottom foot. I'm going to bring my feet back to hip distance. Now I'm going to take Pada Astasana. We've done this in class together before too. So I'm going to take my hands, I flip them up, bend my knees as much as I need to, and I actually step my feet onto my hands. Yeah, and it almost serves as like a little massage on my wrists. So my toes pull my feet down. And drop your head when you're ready and come back to your breathing. Just close your eyes here for a few moments and allow yourself to release in the stretch. Okay, look forward, heart forward, inhale. Exhale, hands to the hips, shoulders back, lead the chest. Come all the way to standing. Great. Okay, and then we're going to come back to the center. So come back to facing. And then we're going to once again go legs wide. Your heels are in, your toes are out. So again, this is what we call external rotation. My legs are going up and away from each other as opposed to neutral or internal rotation or hip square where the legs come in. So right now, external rotation. I'm using the muscles in the legs to squeeze them so the knees are not collapsing in, right? It's nice, safe, straight legs. And we'll just do again a little bit of a breath and movement. So I'm going to inhale, open the heart. Exhale, come to center. Inhale. Exhale. And just a few times on your own. If you want to speed up, you can. If you want to slow down, you can. Just moving and breathing. Okay, and straighten the legs. I'm going to take the right toes out and the left toes in, and your feet just a little bit wider apart than you had them before. Bend that front knee, and again, you want to make sure that the knee tracks between the second and third toe. So you're using your muscles to keep the leg moving straight. Back leg just pushes straight back. Again, this is what we call external or open rotation. I'm going to just come down onto my forearm here. Take the top arm all the way up and over the top head. Turn and look up if you like. Sometimes I don't like how that feels on my neck, so I'll turn and look down. Just make sure you don't collapse down. Right, chest is going to stay up. All the way up. Let's get that on the other side. Turn the toes out and the toes in. So outer edge of my back foot is pushing into the floor. Back leg pushes straight back. In other words, my back thigh, I'm pushing it away from you, right? Straight back. And that holds me as I sit down here. Great. And then come onto the forearm. I use that to keep it open. And then top arm all the way up and over. Smooth, easy breathing. Okay, and then come all the way up to standing. Great. Okay, we're going to go back to side one. I'm going to show you how to sort of build on what we just did. So if what we just did is enough for you, and you want to just repeat what we just did, and if you want to add a little bit, then you can join me. So again, we bent the front knee, back thighs back to support, and we started like so, right? So it's kind of like this. Now, if I decide I want to do more, there's many ways to do it. They are all correct. One way to do it is I'm going to take this hand on my fingertips on the inside of the foot. Now I'm doing the inside so that I can do this. Bend my front knee, and instead of rounding forward, I scoop my tailbone under and through, and I pull my chest. Again, I'm almost pulling my chest up and away from you, right? Pulling it up to the ceiling and back away from you, like this. So this is nice big stretch, and it's kind of a way to add on. A couple breaths here. And then just push through the feet to come all the way up to standing. Let's get that on side two. Okay, so I switch the feet around. Make sure the feet are exactly where you want them to be. It's the foundation of every pose. So the feet are, if you're standing up, feet are on the ground. Of course, if you're in a headstand, that's the head is the foundation. So, but right now, this really matters. Make sure they are exactly where you want them to be. Bend that front knee and just start where we started before, like so. Make sure this bottom arm is keeping this thigh straight. Then if you want to add on, you reach to the inside, right? This arm comes straight up, and I use this shoulder to push this thigh back. I scoop my hips under, pull the belly in, and my chest up. Okay, and then come all the way up to standing. Okay, I was not planning on doing this, but I feel like we've come this far. I'm going to show you guys kind of the last part of the sequence. So, okay, so I switch my feet, come back to side one. And again, I'm showing you levels, so you can make this as easy or as hard as you want to. You can come down to your forearm and just be like this. This is stage one. This is great. I do this most of the time. You can come down to the inside of the leg and just kind of hold yourself here. Lastly, if you're like, wow, this class is just way too easy, I need to make this harder on myself, we do this. Now, if we're nice and solid under this leg, I take my top arm back behind me. I take my bottom arm underneath, and I grab my wrists behind me, pull the tailbone under, and I take the chest up. So I'm holding my wrist behind me. This is what's called a bind in yoga. Make sure to keep that chest up. And if you can't keep the chest up with your bind, better to keep one hand down and one hand up. And that is enough for me on that side. Okay, let's go over to side two. I'm going to show it to you here. We go here. You can always repeat this. You can repeat this. And if you feel like you got it, you reach your arms back behind you, grab and pull chest up. Okay, or here, or to the forearm, to the thigh. Excellent. Bring your feet back to parallel. This time, interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale, lift the chest, and we fold. All the way down and just stretch out all of that work you just did. Hands towards the floor in front of you. Okay, and then bring the hands down, and you're just going to take your right hand just below your face, so in front of your feet, and then left hand to the ceiling. coming into a big open twist. And release that hand down. And let's get the other side. Okay, and then release. Nice. So release the head down, put the hands on the hips, lead with the chest, come up to standing. Okay, excellent. Bring your legs towards each other. And then turn to the side. Let's take one Utkatasana chair pose. So you're going to sink your hips way back and down. Take your arms up. Let's just hold it here for a moment. Pull the belly in, pull the ribs in, sink a little lower. Okay, and then fold forward, drop the head, straighten the legs, pull the heart forward, and then take your feet as wide as the mat, distance of the mat, so the outer edges of the feet touch the outer edges of the mat, and then let's fold forward here. So we're just kind of hitting a different part of your legs. And then from here, bring your heels in and your toes out. Bend your knees, sink your hips all the way down, take your chest up. Everything's crackling on me here. And then you're going to take your hands to the insides of the legs, squeeze your legs out to the sides, and then I'm going to slowly lower my heels down. So I'm going to lower, lower, lower. Woof. Yeah, palms come together at the heart. And I'm in a Malasana or a garland pose here. I'm opening my hips, strengthening my spine. Okay, and then from here, here's the tricky part. I'm going to take my arms out in front of me, pull them forward, and then roll until my tailbone comes down. Bring my legs together, and I'm going to bring my legs up, pull my arms in. So I'm just doing a little kind of a modified boat pose here. You can keep your legs straight like this or bent, or go ahead and straighten them. And wherever you are, just kind of take this part over to the right, and then your upper body to the left, and then to the right, and then to the left, and then to the right, and then to the left, and then into the center. Hug your knees into your chest. We're going to take a modified Purvottanasana. So bring your feet onto the floor, hip distance and parallel. This is sort of a, what they call like a reverse tabletop. Bring the hands behind you. We're just going to press through the heels and take the hips and chest up to the ceiling. It's going to feel great. I promise, I promise. Okay, up and open. Let the head dunk back. This takes a lot of strength in the glutes and the thighs, but opens the chest. Okay, and then release. So I'm going to do a little bit of a different forward bend than you're used to. I'm going to have you take your feet together, and the knees are wide like this, but if we're not doing it in like this quite yet. We'll do that in a minute. You want the feet wide. So let me say it this, like if I took my feet any wider, any further forward, they come apart. That's how sort of far forward you want them to be. It's going to hit a different part of your hip. So I usually pick myself up and kind of adjust. And with the feet like so, I'm just going to take a very sort of unimpressive forward bend here, but I'm just going to kind of do what I can, and I'm aiming my face towards my feet. Let the head drop.
And come back to that Ujjayi breathing. In and out through the nose, hollow sound.
Okay, and then go ahead and come up. And now we'll do the one you know. Bring the feet towards you with the knees out to the sides. Now, if you find that when you hold on to this, you're really just rounding, you don't want to get yourself more rounded. So better to take your hands behind you and kind of just push your chest forward. Like this is a good way to go. You can just do this the whole time. Like I feel tons of stretch right in here when I do that. So either that, or if you feel like it's comfortable to start to walk yourself down, just no pulling and yanking. Like we're not, there's one thing we've learned these last several months. This is not a race. It's not a contest. Let's just all allow our eyes to close. Head's gonna drop. And just slow it all down. Okay, and come on up again. And then again, take your legs towards each other. And once again, we're going to do a boat pose, a Navasana boat. We're going to move a little bit in and out of it this time. So I'm going to keep my my knees bent a little bit, and I'm going to move just gently. So I expand 2-3 inches, inhale, and then I exhale, squeeze it up. Inhaling and exhaling. Keep going on your own. And we're just doing a few of them. We're not here to be like doing crunches and whatever. That's not the game of today, but we do want our bellies to be strong and awake to be able to support us. Okay, and then last one, hug it in, and then we're going to move into some more forward bends. So from here, I'm scooching back on my mat just a little bit to give myself some room. I'm going to take my right foot forward, flex the right foot. I'm going to bend my left knee out to the side. I'm going to square myself over that right leg and just a nice, easy forward bend. Let the head drop. Great. So I'm going to keep my legs in this position, lead with my chest, and come up to sitting. And I'm going to move into a twist, a counter pose. I take my left knee to the ceiling. My right foot is flexed. You can either keep your foot either on the inside or bring it to the outside of that right foot. My hands are behind me. Get some length in the spine like that first. Right arm's going to come up, and you can either just pull the chest and the thigh together, or if it makes sense, go ahead and take the arm to the outside of the leg. Give yourself a good twist here. Inhale to get a little taller in the twist, and exhale, you twist a little deeper. And then release. Ooh, that feels nice. Okay, I'm going to get this whole thing on side two. So I'm going to take my left leg forward, bend my right leg out to the side. Get myself kind of squared over that left leg. And then don't be surprised if your flexibility is like one leg is more flexible than the other. Don't make a drama of that. Just like, okay, so one leg's more flexible than the other. No big deal. I'm just here to stretch it out, and great to notice and then let it go and just come back to the breathing. Main thing is don't push or pull. Just take it easy. Come on up. And then let's do the twist. So I start with taking my legs straight up, either inside or outside of that bottom leg. And again, I usually start with my hands behind me to really help my spine get that length. And then, okay, now I'm tall. Now I can either add here or add here, but knowing that I'm in alignment, right? Inhale, get taller. Exhale, twist. And close your eyes for a few moments. Close your eyes in the twist and breathe. Okay, and then release. Great. We're going to do again that reverse tabletop. So bring your knees in, give them a little hug. This is sort of our big back bend for the day instead of our Ustrasana camel pose. So again, you can do, your hands can be turned in, they can be turned out. Again, I have some wrist issues, so I'm up on my fingertips, but you can do it however feels right for your hands. Main thing is you want to keep the thighs kind of rolling in here. I'm going to push down my feet and take my hips to the ceiling. This is sort of my final bit of effort here. We're going to be chilling after this. Try to bring my legs together. Bring my left knee into the chest, left foot to the ceiling just for a moment. Release it down. Right knee into the chest, right foot to the ceiling just for a moment. Release it down. Last one, hips come up, head goes back. And then I'm going to release it all the way back down, hug the knees in. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to come to the side, and I'm just going to take my mat a little further here. We're going to move into an Upavishta Konasana. My legs popping already. So nice wide legs. And then I'm going to only go about halfway down and hold. About halfway down. Hold and relax for a moment because we're going to do some variations in a sec. Okay, and then come back up and let's do a variation, just a gentle side lean up and over to the side. Flex through both feet, push through both heels. If your hand just happens to find its way to that foot, great, just as long as it doesn't make you roll or hunch forward. Keep your butt upright. And then come all the way up to sitting. And then we'll go up and over to the other side. Come all the way back up. And then last time, let's go straight down the center. And now if it feels comfortable to go all the way down, go ahead and do that. We'll just let this release for a few moments. Whatever of this you're doing, just try to relax and soften.
Okay.
Excellent. So go ahead and come all the way up and come onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest. See how we're doing on time. Oh, we are right about at the end. So on your back, knees to chest. Keep your right knee hugged in. Stretch your left leg flat. Right knee, tip it over to the left side. Hold it down with the left hand. Stretch your right arm to the right. And you can keep your shoulders down. Let your shoulder float. Play around with it. See what feels right to you. Couple breaths. And then bring both knees back in. Let's get the twist on side two. Left knee is in. Stretch your right leg flat. Left knee, tip it all the way over to the right. Take your left arm to the left. Just getting the last few kinks out. Bring both knees into the chest. Hug them in, rock them around, give yourself a good squeeze, and then stretch your legs all the way flat for Shavasana. So allow your eyes to close here. You're going to stretch your legs all the way flat on the floor. Allow your feet and legs to flop open. Palms can be turned up or turn them down on your belly with your eyes closed. Relax the back of your eyes. Relax the inside of your mouth. Relax your whole body and allow your breath to slow itself down. Allow your breath to slow itself down. Excellent. And we are out of time, so I'm going to encourage you to stay here, relax, and enjoy the benefits of your practice. It's been a delight to spend another afternoon together. Again, please email me if there's poses that you liked or poses that you hated or things that you've done before that you'd like to see more of. Please give me some feedback so we can make these classes they're meant to be a service and they're meant to be a community effort here. So please do feel free to communicate with me. We're doing these Wednesdays all through the end of the semester. So I know it's hard to take the time, but please do grab these moments. Grab your friends and family. We're in COVID. Let's get as many people doing some yoga as we possibly can. The more we do, the better we show up for everything. So thanks again so much, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Namaste.